Silly. What? Silly. What?
I'm coming into this one blind and I love it. I'm so excited.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you,
I don't know
did
anything.
this just drop?
It might. You could be a serial killer. And I'm just so excited to meet you.
Wouldn't that be weird?
It's real.
Real.
This is like a fun game of like.
What do you do? What do you
Let
do?
me keep saying things and you say yes or no. Or you say I understand that or I don't.
Am I
understand.
usually clothed when I work? No.
Okay.
I mean, look, from the waist down, who knows?
It's true.
As long as you're behind a desk.
Yeah. Just don't be that weirdo that was on CNN.
Thank you.
What was his name?
Oh,
Where
he was
pulled the thing down his
masturbating?
break and started masturbating.
Oh
And they
my
have him back on
god.
there now.
They do.
What?
Well, here's the thing.
still
I don't know
do.
how I feel about this because two things. One is
It was during a meeting though, right?
it was
was
not
during
during
a
a
meeting.
meeting. It
Oh.
was after a meeting.
No, it was between.
It was
like
between-
they were taking a break, and
Okay.
he
No, the
pulled
meeting-
his thing down, the camera down. No, the top
Yeah.
of the laptop, and it was like.
Thinking.
But he thought he was like no
Closing.
one because he thought he was
Off camera. He thought it
was-
shut down his camera.
Shut down his camera, and then
This
he's
is in the
like just
beginning
to
of-
be precaution.
This is during COVID
Yeah.
too, where we
Put it
didn't
down,
know. Oh, you're
too.
still on mute when
Yeah.
you're like talking, right? So it's during that, like your camera isn't on or whatever. So he did that and thought his camera was off, but everybody just saw him masturbate. And so I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if he was wrong.
Time and
Now,
place, buddy. Goddamn.
I mean, really. But maybe one of
You don't ever like the middle of the day just feel like
I mean, like, but
Between
not
meetings.
between work meetings.
you guys don't.
wow, I feel a little
Listen.
judged.
She's a freak.
About maybe between meetings, leave the room.
I
But now
mean,
we know.
Where are you
We
gonna
didn't know
go?
back then. At least turn around, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll leave it to them.
You
You guys
decide.
let us know how we should feel.
Well, you're
Also
joining
tips.
us.
Give us tips.
Yes.
Yeah, let us know.
Oh, and how to get it done without getting caught.
Yeah.
There we go.
I would, and it's just it'd be hard to go just like into the bathroom. That's not gonna
It's
work.
too
Maybe
far.
for a guy. But
It's too far. He might not have had time.
yeah.
He might
Oh, and if
have
you know
just
you need to
had-
get rub a quick one out.
Who are we to judge?
Yeah, vodka.
Well, thanks for joining us on this episode of Moms Are Too, where we get right
Hi.
to it.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, well, look, we've got
I'm excited.
an amazing guest today, if you haven't already noticed. Candice Czubernat. Am I saying that right? I'm
You
always
are-
afraid.
Everyone
I'm
is
gonna say
afraid.
it
You
wrong.
don't have to be afraid.
Okay,
What is it?
Czubernat. Nat or net?
Not
Not.
like
Czubernat.
astronaut, but half my family says Nat. So
Whoa.
Czubernat.
it starts with a CZ,
Oh, shit.
and there used to be a ski on the end,
Yeah.
but they dropped that, so it was even longer.
Czubernat.
Zubernatsky.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all,
Where is that? Where are you
how
from?
does...
What's
Yeah, where are you
happening?
from?
Polish. It's Polish.
Well, ski.
Yep.
Why'd they
Yeah.
drop the ski?
You know, when they came over from Poland, it was just one of those like,
We're O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Dropped the O. The lazies dropped the O. No offense to your family.
it's-
We kept our O. O'Sullivan.
but I made Crystal take my last name, and her maiden name was Miller, which, is fine.
So easy to call out
But
at
now,
Starbucks.
yes.
Yeah.
And when you spell Czubernat, you have to do C as in Charlie, Z as in zebra. You have to do the
Right.
whole
Yeah.
thing like that, and she's been forever bitter.
It does not matter. It's the best thing ever that could have happened. Because why go with Miller when you
Wha-
can go with Zubernatsky?
100%.
Yeah, I love that.
My
That's
maiden
cool.
name is Boots.
Which is fucking
Brooke
hilarious.
Boots.
Brooke Boots.
And then I went to Brooke Sample. So there really was,
Yeah.
I was winning either way.
Yeah, I love the
To say
positiveness
sample
of that.
is a little bit more.
Well,
Boots is just so fucking porny. I love it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is.
My mom
Boots.
actually, she was like, I was going to name you Jasmine. Jasmine Boots.
Oh shit.
Jasmine Boots.
I need to meet your mom.
Yeah, my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then my grandma was like, I don't know, does that sound like a stripper?
I mean,
My
yeah.
mom was like, oh no. So
Oh, she said, "Oh no." Oh, I don't know, Indiana. It's really her only road ahead.
Illinois.
Anyway,
I know.
my last name is Lee, Lee, but it's originally my mom's O'Sullivan Gilpin, so we have the Irish thing. But yeah, Lee. I'm boring.
No,
It's
she's
fine.
just Lee. Melly.
Melly.
So we call her Smelly.
Ellie. Smelly Melly.
Smelly Melly.
Which isn't untrue. Okay.
Okay, so we're having you on. This is our real episode. And I wanted to bring you on because you have such a unique perspective on kind of the work that you do. And I think that is not talked about enough, honestly, especially, I mean, in my world and we're not. So basically, let's just first of all talk about what you do. What is on me? The dog?
The dog.
Okay.
I don't know how she got in here. All the doors are closed, but whatever.
So tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, sure.
And
I don't know anything.
she
I'm
knows
coming into this
nothing.
blind. And I'm so excited. You're a murderer.
I'm like, how do I make it sound really exciting?
We have turned into a crime podcast.
Yeah. So what I do is intersects with my life, my personal life, and my just human journey.
Okay.
So I'm a therapist, but not just a therapist. I walk with mostly LGBTQ plus folks
Okay.
at the intersections of their queer identity with faith.
Holy
Yeah.
shnikes. That's incredible.
So I was in
Jesus.
Bible college
I mean,
when I
no,
realized, yeah,
Sorry.
Jesus.
That's what she meant.
But I was in Bible college and I was like, I'm going to marry Johnny and I'm going to be a missionary. And then I woke up one day like in love with Heidi.
Yeah.
And so that was devastating.
Where did you go to
and
Bible college?
in Chicago at a place called Moody Bible Institute,
Well, there you go.
which is
Come on now.
pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
I lived in Chicago for a long
Oh
time.
my gosh! So you do. So you
I
probably,
do. I know you.
Yeah,
I know y'all.
Okay. Yep. So I was
They
there.
don't have a southern accent.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where that came
No, we
from.
do it all the time. No, and we actually call ourselves out whenever we're really not being intelligent. Isn't that bad?
When
That's
we
really
do
bad.
stupid
We
racist
recognize.
jokes or bigot jokes or like we just all of a sudden go to a southern accent, which is not real because I know
No.
people with southern accents and they do not have
Yeah.
racism all the
that's-
time.
Not all. I mean,
It's fine.
it's like mid-racism. Yeah.
But it's just, it's a traumatizing experience to have your entire family and community say, you can't exist. You don't exist. Something has
yeah.
to be changed.
Yeah.
And to realize like, I can't change. I don't know what to do. And so I obviously like now it's very different. I'm married and
Yeah.
we have children, my wife and I, but I'm lucky enough to have gotten to take my pain and my story and walk with other people towards
Oh my
life.
God.
And so
To be
people are
able to
like,
help them.
is your job so depressing? And I'm like, it's not depressing at all. It really
It's
isn't.
hopeful.
Yeah,
That's what I was
it's really
about to say.
hopeful.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's
yeah.
cool. So what do you have a question or can I
Well,
talk?
I'm just really super interested. So it's so funny. We always say this. We bring on our friends and we bring on people because there are things like that we might not have to have discussions about otherwise. Like we've had some of our friends on that we thought we knew.
Yeah.
And then we have all these discussions. We're like, we never knew that about
Yeah.
you. So I feel like this is like, we'll just bring her on and get to know her anyway. So yeah, I do have questions because I think like going into that world and like being in that world, I should say, and then having this like the truth about who you are and what you feel. I mean, like you were in that setting. How did you come out? Like how I
what's
don't know, like a
your
whole
story?
coming out story, but like in
Are you-
that particular situation, I just find it fascinating.
Are you
as to how
comfortable
you were
talking about your come
received.
out? Well,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean nothing is off the table.
Okay,
Yay.
We started the show out with
You're like,
masturbating.
okay, I have a
so-
different
Oh, that's a
question
good
then.
point. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's some people come out one time and it's massive, but mine really was like a very long, 10-year long journey of trying not to be gay, getting engaged to a guy who was a pastor at one point, going to therapy, praying, just fighting against it, really believing that it was wrong. And then, in that I graduated from college and then I went to graduate school.
In the same forum of religion and stuff.
Pretty much. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a graduate school, but technically a seminary. So we were studying psychology and the Bible and art and the intersections of all these kinds of things, which was great. And that's where I met my wife, who I quickly fell in love with.
Yeah.
And felt like a total creeper because, like I'm this
Were you engaged
struggling.
at that time?
No, I'd broken off my engagement. That was in Chicago.
His name wasn't Mike, was it?
It was not Mike.
Okay, just curious.
Oh my God.
I
What
know
if you
Pastor-
knew
I
him?
know. Well, that's what I was thinking. Because I have a friend who is married
That
to
would
Mike, who
be-
used to be a pastor.
In
And
Chicago?
He was in Chicago, and his family is very religious, except he left being a pastor. I mean, they're wonderful people, and they, his family's wonderful, but they're both like atheists. Let's get it. Come on, let's get real. They're both fantastic. She's my best friend from high school, and she married Mike, who used to be a pastor. Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious?
Oh my God. I just got so
you get
hot.
sweaty?
Talking about Mike. There's the second Mike we've gotten hot about. And
Just a second, Mike.
Something's happening.
Something
we have to
is.
listen to the universe on mics. Okay, go ahead.
But so she was straight and I was straight, just being
I love
friends.
this. Wait, was she straight? Or
She
was she
was
straight?
never had thought about it.
Got it.
And I was just like, that all of those times I had crushes on girls must have been random because I'm straight.
Right.
And I didn't realize she was simultaneously falling in love with me.
oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
I
Stop
know.
it.
Do you want to know?
Yes, everything.
Yes.
Okay, so we're true straight gals, going on a camping trip. And we're underneath the stars. We don't even plan it. We're just like hippy dippy, so fun. And meanwhile, like I'm just like, oh my God, I'm in love with Crystal. So the next day, we find these guys to hang out with because that's what two straight gals do.
Right, of course.
And we're hanging out by the bonfire drinking. And this one guy starts to put on the moves on Crystal. And I'm like, I cannot handle this. I will not survive. So I very quickly think, and I stand up and I go in between the two of them. And I turn towards him and I start flirting with him, which immediately stops him flirting with Crystal, but I had not thought it through.
Oh, yeah. Where it was
So
going to
now,
end.
right. So now he's like, well, I don't care who I make out with as long as it's one of you. So then he's stoked. He's like, okay, I'll hang out with you.
Yeah.
So somehow she intuits that like I'm panicking. And so she says, oh, Candice doesn't want to kiss you because we're together. Oh my God.
So you're like, do you,
The door is open.
Yeah, we are. Wait, are you serious? Are you serious?
So then I very dramatically say, don't talk about what you don't know anything about, like, I was so
to
mad.
Crystal?
Yes.
Oh.
So mad.
Yeah.
She's like, what? What do you mean? And then I immediately stand up and start running in the sand dunes.
Look at you.
And this is
Yes.
where were you going to graduate school?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Okay.
So we're like on the Oregon coast.
Okay. Well, yeah, free reign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she follows me. I'm hitting the microphone. She follows me and she's like, do you like me?
It's happening.
I know. And I'm like, you don't want to know. And then she's like, yes, I do. And I was like, fine, yes. And she's like, me too.
And you were screaming at each other?
I feel like the best
I'm sweating now,
trying to like, get your shirt back. Like it can't have to be on.
Totally.
Oh my God.
Okay.
This is how it's
I have
supposed to
visuals.
happen.
Okay, we're gonna write this.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
we're
have
gonna tell your story.
chills.
We'll give you total
Oh my
credit.
God.
So then
That's
it's
so
just
good.
like, this is insane. How is this happening? We go back to the bonfire. The guys are gone, of course, because they're like, what the actual hell?
Yeah.
What has happened?
He's a stabby kind of girl.
I just,
No, They probably
yes.
looked at each other and like, I mean,
Whatever.
you wanna?
Yeah.
We're in college.
If
I'll
there's
suck your
some
dick for a
way,
minute. I'll give it once. I'll give it a go.
I need to write them a thank you card and just be like, hey, thank you and I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But so we're driving and I'm like, oh, I need to pull over. This is just like the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And we talk and then we hug. And as we break apart in our hug, a kiss is shared.
Oh my God.
And in that moment, so for years, I've been like, God's going to
Strike you down.
strike me down. I'm going to feel so terrible at this kiss. And I have done everything I can do to not have it happen. And it's happening in this moment that I didn't plan for and didn't know. Yeah. And it was like, instead, God's love and affirmation.
Yes. Yes.
And so in an instant, my life was changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on my 5th cup of coffee today. I know what you're thinking. Who has that much coffee? And someone should really talk to her about that. No, I'm here to tell you the Café Bustel. This is a secret blend of coffee beans, and they're not telling. Trust me, I've tried. This is high quality espresso style coffee with smooth flavor that provides me with all day energy and minor heart palpitations. It's all right, have a cup, or 2, or 5 today.
And it was like, well, now what do I do with all of my friends and
Right.
our entire community and our families? I didn't know what to do with the people.
Yeah.
And how was she feeling in the same moment? Was she feeling like this was something? Obviously, she felt the same way.
Yes.
But was she in a place where she was willing to say, "Okay, we're both gonna talk to like how does that happen for because it's two
Woo-wee.
separate humans."
Yeah. Then it got really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we were closeted for 5 years together.
Okay. But together, closeted.
Together.
Okay.
But we did throughout that time, we went to therapy to try to break up.
Oh my
We,
god.
So crazy.
It's crazy. We like tried dating other people. So we'd go on dates and then like after have the date like drop us off at each other's houses. It just,
God.
yeah. So stupid and crazy that we were so meant to be together and we had to try not to be.
It's crazy. It's literally crazy.
But that
is.
journey also is such affirmation to this is right. This is
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's clearly right.
Yes. Yeah. And the amount of pain and choosing of each other that we had to go through. Now, now we've been together 18 years and we have 9-year-old twins and life is very boring and mom-like, right? And I'm so grateful because I think at this point, if I hadn't had that, honestly, I would be like, oh boy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like this is what else might be out there.
Right.
Oh.
And I'm like, I never think that. I'm like convinced.
Yeah.
No, I already know. Like she is my soul person.
Yeah.
And so family I'm not sure how, you don't have to dive into it, but like you went through a process that there is acceptance and love within that as well. Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely a process for my mom.
Yeah.
And Crystal's family, her brother is gay, and so they had kind of gone through a really painful thing with him. But
Beforehand?
But by the time she came out to her family, they knew me because we had been best friends for 5 years.
Isn't my best finger being
Which, you know what? That's the best part about being in a closeted relationship is the hot sex.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because
shit.
it's so forbidden.
Like being in an affair,
Yeah.
I imagine. You're just
That's pretty
having
sweet.
sex everywhere and all of the time.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's
I don't
totally
even know what that's
amazing.
like anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, girl. She was 18.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, how old were you
When I got married,
when you met Matt?
I was 20.
Okay, good. She was 20.
We've been together 23 years. We'll be celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary this year.
Wow.
That's exciting.
I know.
It
It's
is
weird.
exciting.
It's just
I know.
weird.
I
It
love
doesn't
it.
feel like as I
We
look
need
at
to
him,
figure
I'm
out how to get you guys closeted.
Oh man.
Oh,
Well, we did
I
just
have a
buy
date.
this new house.
That's-
so-
That's true.
where we have a
both
lot more room upstairs.
Yeah. You're not going to see each other for a couple days and be like, oh my God.
I know.
That'd be good.
Maybe that's what it is. We just have secret dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have my mom listen.
You do have big
Closet
closets here.
sex.
They have big closets
When we
here.
lived in
Ah.
Panama, we always had closet sex.
I know you did. That's
Because
how
we
we
had
got
How do you
connected.
know?
Because I told
She
her.
tells me
Oh.
everything.
Tell her
Yeah, I was
everything.
there.
Yeah, she was looking through the
Popcorn.
Yeah.
Way to go, girl. No, not like I
No,
showed
no,
you.
don't.
Oh, don't. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Okay, so then you continued on though with, you graduated from seminary school.
Graduated, became a therapist.
Both of you
Yep.
graduated from
Okay.
the same college.
Yep,
Okay.
same place. And I hated being a therapist.
Oh.
And it was like, oh my God, I did all this schooling, went through all of this. I felt like this is, even ever since I was even little, this is what I was meant to do, it felt like.
Yeah.
And I hate it. So I shut down that practice. We actually moved from Seattle to Chicago in order to come out.
Is that
Just to
where
get out of
family
the
was there?
environment.
So Crystal's family's in Michigan, but Crystal got a job in Chicago from Seattle, and it just felt too hard to come out to our community and stay there.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just left, honestly.
Yeah. Where'd you move to in Chicago?
Wicker Park.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I was in Andersonville.
Oh, yeah. So you were with all the...
I was actually with all the lesbians.
Totally, you were with all the lesbians.
I was, yeah.
Chicago's such a great city. I've lived all over it. I love Chicago. And so we came out, and then I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know. Then Crystal got a job here in LA, which was the one place I never wanted to live.
Isn't that so funny?
Isn't that funny?
And now
That's like
I'm
Casey and
obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I can never live anywhere else.
Yes.
Really? What makes you love it here so much? Because you have to talk me into it.
Oh my gosh.
You have to talk her into it. But I already told her she had to talk Cameron's husband
Wait,
into it,
how
too.
long have you lived here?
I moved here in 2002, and then I left in 2009 to go to Panama, and then traveled, and then came back in 2019. So I was gone for 10 years.
Okay.
I love
you
it
might
here
need
for everything else, but
Well, she's not happy with the weather, and she's spoiled by the heat and hot sun and beach time.
you know what though? Can I tell
Panama
you something? Is
and
I
Miami.
could not have bangs in the humid weather.
You
So
saw
if
me with bangs.
I know.
Well, exactly.
And it was a problem.
I know. That's
That's
why I
a
never got them
legitimate
again.
reason to live here.
I can have bangs.
Great
Yeah.
bangs.
So you
Fuck
need
those
to
bangs.
you
You
need
need
to
to
get
get
off
the
my
fuck
back.
out of here. I'd rather see you no bangs than even be near you. No, I'm kidding. I love you. I'm kidding. I know bangs, whatever.
Okay, so
But yeah, so it eventually was like, what do I want to do with my life? Of course, what if there's somebody out there that is where I was at and they're suffering and maybe they don't need to suffer. And so I was like, I'll just start this and see. And maybe there's one other person.
yeah.
And apparently, who knew?
Well, hold on one
There's
second,
a world.
because We just had a toilet
That's
flush.
Earlier,
Just-
someone farted.
We're learning how to be in this new space.
Yeah, this is our first recording.
It's fine.
No, someone came around here and just farted
Yeah.
while we were recording.
It's fine.
It's great.
So I do have a question about, so when you guys got out here, she was working, and how did you discover it was therapy that you wanted to continue into, or it was the religion aspect of what was that for you, or both?
Yeah, I'm like avoiding the story because it's so Christian.
That's okay.
Fine.
So my dad calls me
Uh-huh.
and he says, I've been praying for you and I feel like God's told me what you're supposed to do. To which I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I'm
Talking to
like,
somebody.
so we meet, and I mean, this was 12 years ago, and he's like, I think you're supposed to start an online counseling practice.
Okay.
And
Jesus, he's ahead of the time.
yeah. And
Man.
I immediately was like, thank you, Dad, but that's a terrible idea. Left that. About 7 months later, I woke up on the morning of my birthday,
When's your birthday?
May 30th.
My mom's the 28th.
Oh.
Gemini.
That's right.
Geminis.
Oh my God. Yeah. All the personalities. I love it. Okay, go ahead.
You know what? I get judged a lot. So if you're going to judge me,
Your rising sign might be
We're only
Aries.
judging one side of you. We're not judging the other side.
I love all the sides.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and so I woke up on the morning of my birthday, was just like, oh my gosh, I actually think my dad was right. He just hadn't thought about these intersecting identities of mine that have been so important. And I was like, of course it has to be online.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's going to want to do it, but yes, because we see people in the military who are in Afghanistan, and we see truck drivers on the road, and we see moms who have 3 kids who are married to a man, and like, they don't know what to do. And all of these people, we're meeting with them in their closets and their cars and, at a park. And so, of course, online. And now everybody prefers it.
Feels like that's what no one's even coming in. We had our friend Langdon who was on recently, and she has a mental health facility, and she was just saying, like, since COVID, like, no one even really.
No.
I think she said that they encourage one a month or one
One
in-house.
initial meeting is in-house.
Yeah,
to
or they try to have a couple in-house at least,
Yeah.
but people just end up canceling. So then they have all these canceled
Yeah,
things.
people
So
just want to be online.
they want to do it online. So it led you into creating this network for folks to be able to access. And what has it evolved to different names? Was it a starting point of just you? Did you bring in people you knew from going to school, or how did that grow?
Yeah. So it was just me, and I was like living the dream. Like, wow, I'm like making a career here, and this is awesome. And then some friends were like, you could like help more people and have a business if you had other clinicians. And I'm like, well, I don't know how to do that, but okay, let's try it. And so I tried it, and
That's so cool.
learned a lot, because at first I was like, oh, you want to be a part of the Christian Closet? Like, okay.
Is that what it's called?
The Christian, it's called the Christian Closet.
Get out of town. That is so good. That is so good.
And I didn't even interview people. And then I was like, oh,
yeah.
that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Should see.
Make sure they're on the same page.
Yep.
As your
Yeah. So learned through that, but now have a team of like 15 people and counting, and clinicians all over the United States, and seeing people all over the world.
That's
That is
fantastic.
so
Yeah.
incredible. Oh my god.
And
So
you mentioned you were working with military. You're working with. I mean,
Truck
like, how do you
drivers,
even how do you put that out there? Like, what is it? What is your marketing?
Yeah, we
Because we need some successes. No, I'm just kidding. How are you reaching these? How are you reaching these people who may not?
who are in secret on their own.
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness for the internet. It really is like blogs I've written, or being on podcasts, and people are alone and they're Googling things. And it's such a niche what we're doing that I would say like 90% of people on that first call are like, you're like a needle in a haystack, like,
Well, you can just Google like, I'm a Christian in the closet.
yeah.
That's
and
a great fucking name.
I might be gay. I don't know. Something's happening.
Yeah.
Because it's not so clear when you grow up in that world. I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so, there are absolutely people who are 7 years old and they're like, oh, I knew.
Yeah.
I knew.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, especially women, we don't know. There's no,
because we're always physical and loving and touchy and feeling and the empathy, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And you shut it down and you're just sort of like focused on something else. Lots of people are like, oh,
That's
I just
programming.
Yeah, I just
total
like
programming.
focused at school. I was really successful in my career and got lost in that. And now I'm 40 years old and single. And what do I do?
Yeah.
So, and then this other thing that I just started.
I was about to say,
yeah.
launched, right? Just like this week.
Yeah. So we just announced Affirming therapy. So throughout this whole time, of course, we have lots of people reaching out who can't afford even our sliding scale, which we all have lots of sliding scale folks. And I'm just like, I am tired of having to say money is the reason why you can't get help. It seems so stupid.
Yeah.
So I started a nonprofit, and so we're going to raise some money for people who can't afford services. And
where do they
Well,
find
this
you?
is where where do we give?
Where do we give?
affirmingtherapy.org.
Nice.
And there's a little donate button. It'll take you right to our Mighty Cause page, or email us, and you can. There's a little contact button, and you can do a Zelle or.
Oh my God.
I
that's
just
so
love
cool.
it so much because I grew up in the church as well. I mean, like I baptized, my kids have been baptized. We've church shopped and gone. And it's always like the politics of church that always pushed me away. My husband used to DJ for Christian hip hop artists. I mean, he's seen churches all over the country and experienced things, where there are things that just turn you off because we're all human beings. Right.
Yeah.
And obviously that was a big sticking point for me. I mean, we even looked at a Christian school in the town where I met you. And one of our questions was, because we were looking for middle school, we were like, well, my child's uncle's gay. So if he comes to an event at this school, what is your philosophy on that? Like, well, how will he be accepted? Like, we asked that question right out on the tour. And he was like, well, in the Bible, it says.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
And we were like, thank you for your time. And we walked out of there real quick because I was like,
I just
no
have to
way.
say, like, that makes me want to cry my eyes
know.
out, because to have a family member be willing to lose something that's good and convenient for them on behalf of me, on behalf of your brother, it's not small.
Yeah.
It's just like the most beautiful, to me, that's the kind of thing that makes me believe in a gospel.
Yeah.
It's like, that's gospel, not this other fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
wow.
that's the kind of stuff where, it just really is upsetting. And so knowing that there is services out there for people who have been in those positions or feel a certain way, I think that it is so needed. And I'm just so grateful that you were able to come on and tell this really like fantastic story. I feel like I know you better. And
Yeah, I love that. I think you're so interesting in your story. I want to talk more.
I know.
So here's what's happening.
Can we have you back on?
So we like to have reoccurring
Let's
guests.
do it.
Is that okay?
So now
Because
everybody
I have
got
a lot of
taste.
questions. I know we have, because we have another guest coming on. And well, first of all, tell us before we stop.
Where we
tell
can
us
find
exactly
you.
where we can find you to make sure that people can donate and be a part of
And
your
just follow
community
you.
and
Like
follow you.
where are you at?
Yeah. So I am lesbian therapist on Instagram.
Okay.
The
what?
lesbian therapist,
The
right?
lesbian
Yeah,
therapist.
just the one. There's just one.
Just me.
That's all I give a shit about.
People are like, how'd you get that name? I'm
Exactly.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Your timing just happens to
You're ahead of the game.
Kismet, it's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think your dad was right.
Isn't that crazy?
I think your dad was on one.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is spot on.
Even in my own theology, I'm like, I don't know that I believe in that. And then, but it happens.
Yeah. Oh no.
Well,
So-
and I think the
so-
idea that you had, and this is something that as soon as you said it, I was like, I need to think about this so much. So you might be helping people that are closeted, but you're also helping me. And it
She's
is
a little closeted.
I'm closeted in my, I'm going through some shit. And I love the idea that you said it was the thing that I am and my being had to coincide with what you studied and what you're good at. And so that is sort of what I'm working through right now. Like I'm learning what I'm really, really good at, but also what my actual being feeds my soul.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to marry those two things. And the fact that you started the business from scratch, not knowing anything, and you just threw yourself into it is so huge. So huge. So that's, I appreciate you, saying that. Cause
Thank
I really
you.
don't.
Thanks. Yeah.
So
you know,
at
it's,
the lesbian. No.
I was just
go
going to say, it's easier when the stakes are low, right? Now it's to start Affirming Therapy, the nonprofit, has been way harder because I feel like I have more to lose and so much more vulnerable. And so I'm once again growing in that, like trying to be comfortable with like the uncomfortability.
Jumping into the fear.
Yeah.
That's when you grow.
Yeah.
When you
So-
jump
That's
into
really good.
it.
Thanks.
But yes,
Let me think about
so the lesbian therapist on Instagram, thechristiancloset.com
Okay.
or affirmingtherapy.org
And or.
and or.
And
Yeah.
Thank you so much, lady. Cheers to you. Cheers to all the work you're doing. Let's get your wife on here because
we're gonna get
she's fantastic.
We need you back on for sure.
She's amazing.
We might actually need to do like have her on and then have a little double. Yeah. Double time.
That sounds exciting.
Let's do that.
Moms are too.
Got something to tell ya
Right now.
today.
Oh.
Moms are too.